gentlemen, welcome to a circuit that demands absolute precision, bravery, and just a little bit of luck. Tonight I'm your host, Sagar Bakshi, and it's green, green, green here at the Miami Autodromo Internazionale. Side by side, there goes Sean Stan, the Stanman, and the 000 as well.
Papa Green made up 3 positions in 2 laps. With Leslie Simpkins now throws his elbows out at Drew.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome to the SPR Services Endurance Tour with Sausage Dodgers Racing. Coming to you live from the legendary Nürburgring, set in the hills of Germany's Eifel region. The Nürburgring is one of motorsport's most historic and demanding venues. Tonight, the modern Grand Prix circuit becomes the battleground for a multi-class endurance fight between the high-speed GTPs and the hard racing GT3 machines. This is a circuit that asks everything from the drivers. Heavy braking into turn 1, the technical rhythm through the Mercedes arena, the commitment through the Schumacher S's, and the pressure of getting a clean launch and the long back straight all play a major role across a full stint. It is a track where one missed braking point can open the door, one poor exit can leave a driver exposed, and one mistake in traffic can change the entire race. For the GTP pilots, patience will be just as important as pace as they cut their way through the GT3 traffic in some of the tightest and most technical sections of the lap. For the GT3 field, predictability, tire management, and clean racecraft will be the key to surviving the faster class while still fighting their own battles. Endurance racing at the Nürburgring is never simple. Strategy, discipline, traffic management, and pure speed all have to come together. So settle in, turn it up, and get ready. Sausage Dodgers SPR Endurance Tour is live from the Nürburgring, and the battle is about to begin. Joining me in the broadcast booth today is none other than our own and lovely Jack McCarthy. Jack, how are you feeling tonight?
I'm very excited. The Nordschleife is the green hell as it's known for very good reason. It's caught out the best drivers in the world, as we even saw recently in the real life N24. There was some big incidents for some big names. So yeah, no, it's going to be a real test for the boys tonight. A long race, but they should be all right. It should be exciting. So yeah.
And what are the keys to the race for the drivers tonight, Jack?
Keeping the car clean. That's number one. Like, so easy to hit a curb here and, pick up a bit of damage, and it's going to cost you everywhere. And worst comes to worst, you get a meatball when you're back in the pits. So, yeah, that's obviously number one. Just staying clean. Navigating the GT3s if you're in a GTP car, and then vice versa, almost getting out of their ways and surviving. And then obviously track knowledge here is huge. So if you know the ring, you're going to do really well. You're going to be able to get past people in places where lots of others couldn't, just on pure pace alone. Andrew Kelly already, as you can see, he's absolutely rapid round here. So I think the GTP drivers will have a real difficulty beating him tonight. But again, it's the Nordschleife, keep the car clean, keep the pace up, you'll be all right. You'll get a good result. It's exciting.
It really is exciting to see all the drivers out on track doing what they do best. And Andrew Kenny is one of those drivers that pushes as hard as he possibly can, day in and day out. Let's take a look at the championship points as well as we ride on board with Kenny. So far in the GT3 category, it's Zach Sweeney, Matthew Clark, Pier Paolo Aletto, the 1-2-3 punch combo. But Paul Cook, who just came off of a hot streak in the F4 category, is out tonight, but has a chance at the top 3 if he comes back and settles into things. Zoltan Arts in 5th, James Piper, Simon Darch, Benedicto De Viso, Reno Clark, Simone Tigas, Simran Gill, Andrew Kesterton, Nick Ewers, Neil Thompson, Noah Osbaldeston, who's no longer here, Lewis Butler, Lloyd Butler, and Julian Colbert round out the top 18. And why don't you walk us through the GTPs?
So we've got Andrew Kenny, 93 points, with a nice 4-point lead over Mark Richards, who both Sausage Dodgers racing drivers fighting it out. Oscar's not too far behind him, still in the hunt if results go his way, in 3rd. Daniel Moffat, 4th, with 83 points, a point behind Oscar. Tim Williams, SPR owner, 80 points, not here tonight, so he's going to suffer. He'll drop down a few. Robert Scavor, I have no idea how to say that, on 77 points in 6th. Myself, who is not racing tonight, on 23 points. And then, yeah, it's basically a lot of drivers who are not racing anymore. And as you can see, lots of minus points from people who have missed races. So, yeah, that's pretty much the summary of GTP so far.
Absolutely. And as we get ready for this grid now, we are going to have an extended qualifying session of 20 minutes to allow everybody to get the opportunity to get these laps in. Now, we have a long race ahead of us. We have a long qualifying period. This is just an overall long session. A lot of drivers haven't necessarily put in back-to-back heats like this, right? So what does it take for drivers to have the durability or the stamina to put in these types of stints?
Concentration, 100%. It's keeping your brain sharp. I mean, the Nordschleife does a good job of doing that anyway, but just one late braking zone and it's trouble. So if they can keep their mind fresh and almost get in a flow state around here, becomes a bit rhythm, you know, link the corners up, almost not push too hard, but be on the limit, and I think you'll do okay. It really is a challenge. There's no other circuit like this in the world, so you see creme de creme rise at the ring, you could say, or people that just love the ring. There's so many people that struggle elsewhere, but they've done so much Nordschleife, they stand above the rest. It really is an interesting track like that, especially in iRacing. You can see a lot of that. They may be a low I rating, but they're straight in on the top times around the ring. So it's a real challenge, especially with a long 2 really quick hot laps like this and the qualifying session going into a long race. It's obviously even longer than doing a single stint. They're going to have to pit, so keep it switching back on if they're putting fresh tyres on. Don't know if they will. I'm not sure what the tyre wear is like around here. I assume it's high, so we'll see if they can. The GT speed, well, both of them actually, both the cold tyres do struggle. So it's really easy to get in a flow state and then boom, cold tyres, and you're in trouble, especially around here. So you've got to keep on it.
And there are a lot of drivers that are perhaps, sitting out of this event right now because this is a circuit that just doesn't favor them, or it's not their flavor. So as you said, this is just a driver's circuit. So I feel like either you love the ring or you absolutely despise it, and there's no in between, is there?
Yeah, 100%. I'm probably in closer to despite. I don't hate it, but I have not put the time in to learn to get quick here. So you can get around the place, I know the place, but that's definitely it. There's a big split. You see, for me personally, I love a shorter lap. Like last week when we were at Road Atlanta, love it there. Nice quick lap, isn't it? It comes at you really fast. It's you know, you can learn a track like that much quicker than you can the ring, for example, where it really does take a lot of grind to get good at it, get really good, a lot of hours. So, yeah.
Yeah, it does take a lot of time because it's such a long lap. And I know the sausages are getting ready for yet another challenge, the Majors 24 at Le Mans, and that challenge is equally as difficult as this one. You know, we were talking about it a little bit before. I think you maybe had stepped away. But the challenge here at the ring is because it's such a long lap, it's difficult to get that practice in because you need to commit maybe an hour to only getting a handful of laps in, because you're gonna crash, you're gonna spin, you're gonna have an incident unless you're just babying it through every single corner. And the Le Mans 24 that the sausages are preparing for right now is a similar challenge. You know, I was doing my own practice and growing frustrated with the difficulty of the track, the setup, the car combo. It was a challenge. So man, I don't envy the drivers that pick up the challenges that are thrown at them here with the Sausage Dodgers Racing. These are hard tasks, and we've got a big grid of drivers here tonight that have accepted the task of order of, can you survive the ring in multi-class conditions in cars that you probably haven't had the combo of seeing before. I know IMSA was here last week, so those that have participated in that may have had a little bit of experience, but other than that, this is new territory and new hunting ground.
Oh, definitely. This is a GT3 track. Like that's where the N24 is all GT3 and TCR's GT4, Porsche Cup. So the GTP here is, and they're so much faster as well, aren't they? I mean, it's quite a big time difference between the GT3 and GTP. So when they do get around to lapping each other, the difference in speed could cause some trouble. It probably will cause some trouble. But yeah, it's a different bit of spice, I would say, the GTP's being here. It's a good comparison to Le Mans because obviously it's a nice big lap. I think the nature of the circuits, Nordschleife is just a whole different beast. But is it 100? How many corners? 140, 100, 146? I can't remember how many corners around here, but it's a silly amount of corners. And just to have, because one corner will affect the next, vice versa. It's just, yeah, it's no challenge like this at all in the world of motorsport at all, apart from rallying, which is probably the closest you're going to get to it. So
you're absolutely right. There is no challenge quite like the Nürburgring, and Le Mans and its characteristics is nothing like the Green Hell. You know, found a track that was
big. Nice big back straight, didn't you? You got a nice big back straight, didn't you, with Le Mans?
Oh,
basically.
yeah.
And you got Porsche curves you can weave through and stuff, and which isn't so bad. That's probably the most technical part of the track, and just big braking zones. Which there's a few big braking zones here, like turn one on the GP track, but no, especially when we're on the ring, it's a lot more high speed. You're not slowing down as much. I think the average speed is probably it's so high for the amount of corners there are. So.
Yeah, it's just a different circuit in general, you know. I mean, it's such a fun track, and just looking at the track facts here, 87 corners in total, 42 to the right, 45 to the left. That depends on how you count them, of course. We have 300 meters or 1,000 feet of elevation change. But I think we need to get to the results of the qualifying very quickly because the drivers are gritting. Felix Kotiaks took pole position in the GT3 in front of Christian Kampringer, the Rising Panda Racing Team, and Bjorn King took third. James Piper in fourth, Josiah Anise in fifth, Simon Music in sixth, Andrew Kesterton, Matthew Clark, Lloyd Butler, Lionel Clark, Lewis Butler, Julian Colbert, Zach Sweeney, Ruben Klotzenberger, and Jason Ketty, Benedetto Diviso, and Nick Ewers round out the 17 in the GT3. And over to you for the GTPs.
So we've got Andrew Kenny in P1, Oscar Corbett in P2. Notice the differences in the times as well, by the way. Pole by 4 seconds. It's massive. Daniel Moffat, P3. Lewis Fincher in P4. Robert Scovor in P5. Paul Sims, P6. Mark Richards, P7. And Stanislav Kosovo in... I'm butchering these names, in P8.
Just apologize in advance and it's all good. All shall be forgiven for the drivers. Now let's go through the starting grid. Brought to you by SPR Services. This endurance tour here for round 5 at the Nürburgring. Andrew Kenny, Oscar Corbett line that first row. Daniel Moffat and Louis Fitchner on the second. Robert Svor and Paul Sims on the third. Mark Richards and Stanislav Kosarev in the fourth. Felix Cotiez and Christian Kempringer in the first row of the GT3s. Bjorn King and James Piper on the second. Josiah Anise and Simon Music on the sixth position. Andrew Kesterton, Matthew Clark, Lloyd Butler, Marino Clark, Lewis Butler, Julian Colbert, Zach Sweeney, and Robin Kratzenberger. Jason Ketty, Benedetto Diviso, and Nick Ewers will round out the 17 GT3s, folks.
Here we are rolling for the staggered start in endurance, as you commonly see. Good. It's just good to keep them separate, as I'm sure you well know. Although, look at that, Mark Richards slap bang the middle of the GT3s. I think that is.
Oh no, that's not good.
That's not good.
Oh no.
No. Is he just going to go? I don't know what he's going to do here. I think he might.
Hopefully he does get around and he has a little excursion back to be with my people, as it were.
Oh, Mark.
Oh, Mark.
I assume he's obviously had a off-track or a issue in qualifying there, because Mark's normally right up there on the ring. He's one of the good guys around here. So... something's happened. Skill issue. I'm sorry, Mark, but it's a skill issue, mate. I think you've got to get better.
Well, he came in the chat and said he had a botched quali, so very unfortunate. Oh, man. And Sim Racer Simon in the chat as well says, here watching tonight, and you cockpit teething and heat means I can't make it. Good luck to all. Thank you very much for joining us tonight, Simon. Let us know everything's okay in the chat as well. Appreciate you being here, brother. Always love to see you on track, but even better when you're in the YouTube chat with us. One of the fan favorites here tonight is in the Lucky Charms. Let's see if the luck of the Irish can turn his fortune in his favor tonight. Starting back in P3, hopefully gets a good run and can challenge the likes of Kenny and Corbett. The two sausages line the front row as we get ready to go green. This is the SPR Services Endurance Tour, folks. Brought to you by Sausage Dodgers Racing. And it's green, green, green here at Nürburgring. And Andrew Kenny, Oscar Corbett take off like a rocket. But they're wheel to wheel, toe to toe, and might go blow for blow. But there comes the Lucky Charms trying to challenge the 998 of Oscar Corbett in the background. It's going to be a challenge, but it's not going to be one that's going to be successful for the likes of Daniel Moffat as he loses ground coming out of turn 3. We have to check in to see what happened for the GT3 field. I think that's Mark Richards with DNF as he started in the GT3 field and falls to the back of the pack. Stanislav Kazarov as well involved in some of this kerfuffle, and he is out of place. We're definitely going to have to see a replay of what happened there.
I can only assume he's been caught out by the GT3s braking so much earlier, it looks like, or just been involved in the melee. That's what I'm assuming. It's carnage going into turn 1 for such a long race. It's a real shame for Mark, though. He'll struggle to recover from that. I'm sure he'll continue, but that's a really tricky one.
Here's the likes of Sweeney and Colbert going together, but don't forget about Krautz and Kratzelberger and Marino Kolowarik's tussle right here and now as well. In the opening stages, it's getting hot and heavy, Jack.
Trying to get that track position, because as soon as you get onto that Nordschleife, it is so difficult to get past in so many places. You've got to be really brave to throw out the inside at some of those really fast corners. So now's the time to get some track position if you can, which you can see some of them are doing. With number 7 here. On the outside, going into the Nordschleife.
Yeah, and the newly appointed Nova Motors esports driver of Lewis Butler. Hopefully that news is officially official, as he
Well, it is now.
wears the livery. Yeah, well, it is now. Breaking news. What happened up front to Oscar Corbett, as now Daniel Moffat is chasing down Lewis
He's got off
Fischer
the
for
track.
P2, and now it's here and now. Let's see if we can find out what happened to Corbett. Andrew Kesterton had an incident. Kesterton is James Piper, Mark
What,
Richards.
side by side?
Ooh, further back, Corbett and Fischer.
Oh, it's on the grass.
But off goes Corbett, almost into the rear
he's got
end
damage,
of
he's got
Fischer,
damage.
but saves it.
I think he just clipped him on the way in. It was the front end of the GTP there. The Porsche is crimpled in. He must have just clipped it. A bit of iRacing netcode done dirty. But oh, that's gonna hurt Oscar going into the race. That is, but 100%.
And William Jones has some breaking news from the paddock right now. I'm not sure if this has been announced yet either. Fresh rumors from the paddock once again. They're saying that Julian Colbert is one of the most handsome drivers on the grid. Ooh. I don't know how we feel about that, Jack. We do have Oscar Corbett on the grid tonight.
Yeah, we've got Oscar there, and Mark's a sharp chap, so we have to. He may be scary, but Andrew Kenny as well. He's a rough amongst the diamonds. He can really polish up nicely.
Matthew Clark leading the charge here in P4 with 4 positions gained, but as yet cork in the bottle to the likes of Josiah Anise, Lewis Butler, Simon Music, Zach Sweeney, Julian Colbert, Robin Klatzen, Katzelberger, who are all in this train. And again, I apologize for getting the names wrong. I am trying my best. And there goes off the number 50, a little bit deep and wide, opens the door for Anise, and that'll be through and through.
It really didn't look like the cork in the bottle there. It's really congested. Oh, that's a tight place to go here.
Yeah, it was a
I wish I
little
knew that.
tricky
I
at
wish I knew the names of the
Hotzenbach,
corners.
and now
That's it, you
coming
know.
up at Hockelhen, excuse me, or Flugplatz. I'm trying to get the names right as best as I possibly can. I got a track map up. I'll send this over to you, buddy.
I mean, it won't do much good. I can't read a word
That's got more than 6 letters, so I'll try my best. My German's not too sharp.
Using your fingers and toes to count the corner numbers here, as here comes another charge. I think that's Simon Music or Zach Sweeney, excuse me. Yes, it is Sweeney driving that number 25 AMG, trying to find a way through his fellow German brethren on the racetrack, and maybe Sweeney's in contention for being the most handsome fella on the racetrack as well, Jack.
Look at that picture,
Whoa,
dude.
no, that has all gone wrong between Rob and Matthew Clark. No way, Jose, was that gonna work?
Such a high-speed part of the track for that to happen as well.
Yeah.
I can imagine they both got some big damage.
Now, does damage take you out of the race? I guess is
No.
the basic question.
depends how bad it is, you know. It hasn't come up. They've got meatballs, but they'll be slower. They're 100% slower, and the car might become less drivable, which leads to more incidents. So, which is not what you want around here. You want your car nice and straight. So fingers crossed for those guys that they haven't got too much from it. But it was high speed. They really went in at the wall quite a good rate of speed there. So we'll see how they turn out.
And I guess that's the thing that scares me the most about the challenge of the Nürburgring is that when you crash, the track is very tight and technical for the most part. And it's unforgiving, such as unforgiving as these two up here, AMG on AMG, Butler and Anise going wheel to wheel. It looks like the drive cars are equally matched right now versus it's gonna be right now a Nova Motors esports driver.
Another thing to think here as well is it's one thing knowing the ring
by yourself, but as soon as you're racing another car and you have to take a completely different line to the corner, it changes the dynamic of the corner completely. So you're going into a corner where you've braked in a place you've never braked before. For the example, the incident we saw before the carousel, I have no idea how to say it, but they were both going in probably on a line they're not used to, and from that hit each other essentially, I would assume. But it's nice and tight here between these four guys.
Absolutely no. This is a great battle. We were talking about it being a little bit quiet earlier on in the race, but this is absolutely amazing. We still have an hour and 20 minutes remaining in these battles, so don't expect them to go anywhere anytime soon. Expect these to resume as the race progresses. You can see the GTPs have already made their way to the end of their first lap, and Andrew Kenny beginning his second lap as we head through the Yokohama S's and down towards the hairpin of Dunlop.
He's got a nice big gap already, 5.2 seconds, and those GTPs are just going to get quicker and quicker as the tyres come in. This should be where we're now at the end of one lap of the Nordschleife. Yeah, and as the fuel comes out.
And I wonder what happened to James Piper. Maybe now that things have quieted down a little bit, we can get a replay of what happened. Oh, Piper was involved in that incident at the start. Let's get a replay right now while we have a little bit of a breather, Jack. Here's the SPR Services replay of what happened to James Piper on the start. So here's the 999 coming down. Well, it looks like the race start into turn one, so he's looking good right now on the straight and narrow. And then where does it go wrong for Piper? Is he jumped from behind? You can see Richards going for a pass in the grass from behind. Yeah. So he's flying up the inside. The fifth place car comes up the middle. Mark Richards passes a dozen cars there, leaps over the curb, collects Piper, the 999, and that seems like that will be the start of the race.
I think the braking of the GT3s has really caught out Mark there. As you can see, he's just gone deep into there, collected James.
Yeah.
So, shame for the race to start like that.
And I know the type of person that Mark is too, and he probably isn't too concerned about his own race as much as he is concerned with everybody else's race at this point.
For sure. He'll feel awful for making contact with another driver.
Exactly. He's just going to be kicking himself for the mistake that he made for affecting another person's race rather than saying or being upset about his own situation. He's just that type of guy in genuineness, I think. So.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
Unfortunately,
about that.
Yeah, I'm gutted for him as well. It's a shame, especially when you practice, and he was part of the IMSA race that happened last weekend in preparation for this race with Andrew Kenny, I believe, and Oscar Corbett was there as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and
So-
they came second.
Yeah,
So
they-
they've- in split free, so they've got pace. Mark's always been good around here. He's one of the strongest drivers and also around the ring, so it's a real shame to see him out.
Yeah, darn shame. Here and now, Josiah Anise leads the Simon Music and Robin Katzenberger trio as they're separated by just about a blanket's throw, as Josiah Anise is 1.8 back from none other than Zach Sweeney in our championship lead.
As the race goes on, you'll start to see more spread between the drivers, but evidently looks for GT3s, they are sticking to each other like glue. I think the pace order in qualifying can always be a bit muddled here, so there's a bit of that going on. The quicker drivers are coming through, now they're up to speed, maybe had a bad qualifying. But it's good to see nice and close racing still with the GT3s. But, probably in about 40 minutes time it will get mixed up as well with the odd GTP coming through. So
This is just what happens at the Nürburgring. Unfortunately, or fortunately, as something happens to Butler, he loses a position to Sweeney. And that
That's
was
damage
sight
as well.
unseen. Yeah, a little bit of damage. Lewis Butler went off track. Let's get a quick SPR services replay of what happens here to Butler as he goes off track. Yep. It's a little bit of grass. Double right-hander. Where is this? I know this on track. I just can't.
Yeah. Where is that? I know where it is on track. It is. I'm not gonna be able to say
Bottom
it.
of the key. That's going to be Jaguar Curve.
I think so. Yes.
And that's what happens to him, unfortunately. I think so.
You'll see him drop like a stone now. Look, already the drivers behind him are catching up. He's just have a real lack of front end grip now, with and maybe some real damage. He can hit the wall at some good speed. So, and we know Lewis Butler's one of the quick ones. So maybe he'll make an early pit stop and repair the damage. I know the drivers do get a few fast repairs. He's all over like a rash.
Yeah, it really is looking bad. I didn't think that the top speed would be impaired that much, but look at how bad it is coming through the straightaway through the Arden Forest.
I think it's a bit of everything. I think he's obviously lacking top speed, he's lacking front end, and that affects you everywhere. Worse exits. Then it's a bit unstable as well.
Oh, he is just
Squeeze through.
under attack left and right and not putting up too much of a fight, is he? He's trying to defend what he can, but it's to no avail as we get to the carousel, the one that we both obviously know the corner of.
Yeah, I can say that. To watch but the number 89 car is going to lose so much time behind Lewis here. The two ahead of him have flown off.
And the door opens for the 89, and through he goes by the looks of it. Lewis Butler, again, dropping like a stone. Let's check in with Oscar Corbett right now. He's in a bit of a debacle with the blinking Lewis Fitchner. Fitchner from behind, threatening like a attacking the lion going into the final chicane before we get on to the front stretch.
Oscar's always pretty cool under pressure, so let's see if he can handle it. It's in the deep end now.
He is in the deep end now, but I mean, Danny Moffat really ran away with this one. He challenged early on and got that position, and then hasn't had to look in his rearview mirror for some time.
Yeah, he must feel like he's leading the race. Andrew Kenny's that far ahead. So,
Yeah.
It must be the Lucky Charms livery. It's clearly has some speed. It's impressive. Daniel Moffat though has always been part of a lot of the sausage racing leagues. He's very good, consistent guy. Had a great battle with him in our first ever F4 league, which unfortunately wasn't broadcasted, but that was good. That was a really good season. So I know Moffat's he's a real good clean racer. You can go wall to wall with him. He'll leave space. He's not going to do anything crazy. So if he can keep it clean and consistent here, he'll have a very comfortable P2, I think.
Yeah, good haul of points for him here tonight. He was a contender as well in, I believe it was the F4s, if I'm not mistaken. But unfortunately, I think he missed a round and dropped him out. So he's a heavy hitter too, not only a genuine person, but yeah, heavy hitter as far as pace is concerned. I'm coming to find out.
I'm going to keep an eye on Lewis Butler here, see if he boxes this lap. Because I think he might need to. Because otherwise he's just going to sink. So, because at least if he pits now, even if he has to pit again, yeah, he's boxing. Lewis is boxing.
There we go. Now, an early pit stop at 17 minutes into the race. How does this affect you? And the strategy, really?
It's going to throw him off, obviously. He'll be in a lot of clean air, so there's that. I don't think it'd be too long a stop, because I don't think there's much point in putting fuel and tyres on, because he's going to have to do that later anyway, because the tank won't go that far. Unless he fuel saves like absolute crazy, which that's a tall order. But he'll have to come back out, get back into a room. He's got the pace, so we'll definitely have to pick up some positions again. He's already back out, so I think he didn't take any fuel and tyres, I'm assuming anyway. So if he's pitting again later, he can make up some pace. He's got the pace to catch up to some guys. It's a long race, so...
It is. I mean, we still have 72 minutes nearly remaining in this event. So plenty of time for drivers to catch back up and make stuff happen. I guess my big concern was, is he so far off strategy that he'll still need to pit twice? Or will he be able to come back? And Mark Richards unfortunately crashes again.
Oh no.
What is going on for the 420 tonight? I mean, he's all by himself, potentially pushing on cold tires. Let's see what happens here.
So he must have recently just come out. So, what does he clip a curb? He gets on the curb.
Mounts it.
Oh, look, he's gone flying there. Yeah, he's hit that curb too hard.
Good Lord.
Oh, that's really unfortunate for Mark. Obviously, I mean, I experienced it last week in the... Oh, he's kept out of the wall, though. It's a good save.
Did. Great save.
Yeah, there's times to be hot, but he's kept out of the wall. I mean, this is... Once your head goes a bit hot... I mean, I had it a bit last week in the... well, not last week, this Tuesday in the F4 League. Got caught up in a few instances, picked up some damage, and in the second race I ended up spinning about 3 times. Just from, frustration. So... Yeah, I think that's what's happened to Mark. I think it was the start, because he's obviously botched qualifying, and then had the incident at turn 1. He's been really frustrated at so hopefully he can get his head down and just get some laps down. Who knows? We might get someone else caught up in an incident or two, and maybe gain a few places back, but we'll see. He is for such a... Yes, it's a long race, but it's not like a 24-hour race, is it? So a lap is still huge round here. It's probably a good 10.5 minutes behind, or more than that, looking at where he is on the track map. So, yeah.
Here at Vogtplatz, drivers are trying to go wheel to wheel, and up to Armberg is where we'll catch the drivers trying to catch them off line into the braking zone, but no one's playing the fool tonight. It's all good for the trio in this battle. But you're absolutely right. I don't mean to beat a dead horse, but I myself, get frustrated when it comes down to racing. And you're absolutely right. When you see the red in your eyes, or when the blood starts to boil, there's almost no coming back from moments like that.
It takes a lot to reset.
But it takes,
especially with those like this around here. It's probably one of the worst places it to happen. You know, it's so easy to do it again.
but people that can recover from high adrenaline situations and come back down to think logically, you know, are just a different breed of character.
Oh, for sure.
You know, it's very difficult, and one of the things I do love to challenge myself with in sim racing is that very challenge of elevating your heart rate, going wheel to wheel with someone, and then still making the right decision at 180 miles an hour.
A good example is Max Verstappen at the Miami Grand Prix. He did a whole 360 at the start.
Oh, yeah.
And still recovered, you know, but he was obviously elite. It's quite a high standard. But as you can see, these three GT3s here are like a bee to a flower at the moment. They're stuck together, they're attracted to each other. They don't want to leave each other alone.
Especially these two Porsches.
It's ballsy to go through here side by side.
Bergwerk, side by side, all the way through the fastest parts of the track. Absolutely insane.
They've kept it together though, they've kept it clean.
Whoa, sweetie!
That was a close one.
Oh, excuse me, that's Anise rocking the same livery as Sweeney, who's actually up in 10th position overall, 4th for the category. And what can Simon Music do from back here? The Czech pilot in the number 46, trying to chase down Anise in Kratzenberg. Oh, Fitchner in the
he's in pit lane.
pits.
Oh, and then Simon's also just hit the ball there as well.
Oh, man. Self-inflicted wound there,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
That's the concentration thing we were talking about earlier. Unless this is just a really early pit stop, I don't know if he's got damage. He hasn't got a meatball, so.
And that's really what I'm thinking, is that he doesn't have a meatball flag, so. And he drove into pit. Oh no, Butler. Talk about worse for wear for Butler. Let's see what happens here. Coming through the jump, mounts the curb. Oh, unsettles the car, and that will be a lot of damage.
Yeah, you can see the rear is broken there, and the second hit for good measure. Oof. I'll be surprised if Lewis carries on after this. That's a lot to recover from. He's such a competitive guy as well. But that's a long way back.
Yeah, Lewis Butler back to pit lane. Andrew Kesserton, Mr. Kesserton, with a black flag penalty. Oscar Corbett getting a slow down penalty for cutting parts of the track. And Fitchner comes back onto the racetrack with a pit lane time of 50 seconds, a pit stop time of 21.8, and back into P6. You know, if you think about it, he had nothing to lose, right?
Yeah. I mean, so around here, you're probably going to get around anywhere between 45 minutes out of a full tank, give or take, depends on your fuel usage. So what is that? I think they do about 6 laps in that time. I'm not sure.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, 6 or 7 laps. So maybe for the GTPs it'll be a 2-stop. I'm not sure, or a 1-stop. I think you'd be able to get a 1-stop to work, right? You should be able to, but who knows? Maybe Fitchner knows more than we do.
Often is the case that the drivers know a little bit more than I do.
But they've got all their fuel data as well, don't they? So they can estimate strategies and whatnot. And here comes Benedetto.
Quick
that going
update about the
past Butler is-
pits. There goes Music into the pits. We saw him into the wall earlier, into the guardrails, excuse me. So he comes down pit lane, gets his service, and there goes Benedetto De Viso. You have to say it like that if you're going to talk about my man. Okay, Jack?
Benedito.
No. It's Benedetto De Viso.
I just call it Benny.
No, try it. No. Try it with me. Benedetto.
Benedetto.
Yeah, De Viso.
Devezo.
Yeah, there we go. Mamma mia.
I'm pinching my fingers together.
Because I was doing the same. My brother. Here we go. Another slowdown for a pilot. This one's going to be for Kratzelberger. The 89. Looks like probably coming up through the Schumacher S's by the looks of it, because we're still in the Grand Prix arena.
You're more than it's more than likely if they get a slowdown, it's in the Grand Prix bit, because you can't really get slowdowns in apart from a few places at the ring. Because if you do, you're normally in the walk. If you've made that much of a mistake, you obviously got the and there he goes. It's brakes on the curb there or something. I'm not sure, but he'll have nice warm tyres now.
What a recovery spin, though. Avoids the wall. Avoids just about everything in the process.
Yeah. Have to take it easy on the rears for the next few corners, because I think they'll be quite hot after that spin.
Now look who's back in the mix. Lloyd Butler. Mr. Uncle Lloyd Butler.
Well, he's
369.
better than his nephew, isn't he? So,
Oh, that's a low blow.
sorry, Lewis.
Uncle Lloyd showing up, showing out in the 369. And looking pretty snazzy while doing it. That's a pretty healthy looking livery. Let's see if we can get a nice chase cam on this one. Rear chase? No, we don't have any. We don't have any good. We don't have any good cameras? Come on. Ooh, you can see the brake discs there glowing through the airbox there. That's beautiful that they did that. But we're in the chase with Mr. Uncle Lloyd Butler, and we have Benedetto De Vezzo right in front of us, the Italian man, or the Italian heritage driver, right in front. He might not maybe able to make me a bowl of pasta, but boy, oh boy, can he drive around the ring. He can probably actually make me amazing pasta. That was
get him to make us all some pasta sometime.
Some fresh pasta.
Send it over to you in the States. Yeah.
Oh, that would be great.
Also, I've got a request. Next time in the booth with you, if I do this again at some point, I want to do the famous boogity boogity boogity. Let's go racing boys. At the start.
I've never done a boogity 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 to get a show started, to be honest with you.
Well, maybe if we ever do a Sausage Dodgers Racing oval race, like a special one day, who knows?
That would be brilliant.
That's fitting, isn't it? Yeah.
That
Is
would
it
be
Is it
brilliant.
Carrot Water Trip that says it is, isn't it? Yeah.
You would know more than I.
Yeah. NASCAR driver turned commentator.
Ooh, Piper touching a little bit of grass. Isn't that what the kids do these days, right?
Yeah, maybe James needs to touch some. He already was doing so. So there you go, James. Good on you, sir.
James running in P7 has Stanislav behind Kozarev, but the gap seems to be diminishing as he's losing about a half second per lap. Let's check comparison. Ahead, Piper gaining that last lap as a mistake was made by Josiah Anise on the last attack, doing pretty well to catch up, but on the average losing per lap.
You can see the gaps are starting to spread out a bit now, apart from James. He's pretty close there.
There's a few close GT3s amongst the mix. There's these three, and then Lloyd Butler behind Benny, not too far back. But the GTPs now are really starting to spread out a bit. Andrew's run away with it, 24 seconds ahead, just getting faster. He's done the best lap of the race for the GTPs with a 7:29.2. The closest person behind that was Mark with a 29.8, but unfortunately Mark is quite a far way back now. So we had the pace to be up there with Andrew. And Danny Moffat is doing 7:33.7, so Andrew has a great pace advantage up front at the moment. And then for the GT3s, Felix is doing his best as 8:18s, and that was his last lap actually. So he's flying, he's doing really well. And yeah, no one else is dipped below the 20s yet. So again, Felix has got some great pace out front, has shown that with a 17-second lead. Which is, it's impressive driving from both the leaders right now.
Yeah, Felix Kotiak definitely showing up and showing out in that Ford Mustang. Definitely a favorite of the machinery out here tonight, as he's produced some pretty exceptional lap times that have been unchallenged by the rest of the field.
Do you know why the GT3 is so good? The Mustang GT3 is so good. I can tell you why.
Because it's American, of course.
Because it's powered by Freedom and the V8. So.
Of course. Can't you hear the screaming from its exhaust?
Yeah. There's an influx of bald eagles at the North Sofa tonight.
Yes, there is. There's been a couple of sightings. And they've been attached to Felix Kotiak's Ford Mustang, the Agile Works tag team.
He's flying up front. Look at him. This is again where you've got the people that have just put the time in at the ring and they just stand out from the rest. Like no one can even get close to the pace. All they've got to rely on is them making a mistake. But because they're so quick around here, it's very rare you see a mistake out of the guys that are good here. It's it makes it really tough. Oh, he's off.
Mistake there from Anise. I'll leave the battle with Piper and Kozarev. Here now coming down the dotting row.
You always get a trading match on the straight here at the Nordschleife.
Oh, don't you?
It's so good, it's so long. Yeah, you can see he's pushing him actually here. I think he's probably trying to, create a bit of a gap. I assume. This is what you call in the world of turning left bump drafting. It's not so common in the European sports unless you go in MX-5s or slower cars, but yeah, it's you see it a lot here in iRacing at the ring. A lot of bump drafting. A lot of people do it, teammates do it to save fuel as well, especially if you've got a quick car.
Interesting. So I didn't see an incident. Oh, I do see an incident from Katzelberger with it crash. So let's see if we can get an SPR services replay of what happened here to the 89. I thought this was where they recovered that spin actually. So let's see what happened to the 89. Yeah, they were able to back this one up and recover. But Katzelberger in the pits now. And I wonder if he's able to go to the end of the race based on this strategy.
That's what I'm thinking, because I think in the GT3s you can tend to get longer. Is maybe, again, about now 55 minutes or an hour out of the fuel tank. So it could be the pit window may be open right now. But so if you get your pit stop down now, it's at least out of the way. You don't have to think about it anymore. I can't remember. I didn't do the N24 this year. The rest of the team did, and they won, as I'm sure has been mentioned on our recent streams. But yeah, well, big up Mark and Oscar, Les, Andrew for the win at the N24.
In the Porsche Cup class, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah. absolutely phenomenal stuff from those guys. I mean, we talked about it extensively, you know, the challenge that is here at the ring, and doing it for 24 hours is a challenge, you know. And then there goes Corbett into the pits.
Yeah, Oscar's
What?
in the pits. It's a bit
But
early.
he crashed.
Oh, he's got a meatball, yeah. And Robin's
Oh, and the
just
89's off again.
Yeah.
Cold tires. Again, this is
Yeah,
Schumacher S's, right?
He's been struggling on the GP track, hasn't he,
Yep.
Robin?
Yeah.
Deep
And there's
again.
Richards trying to get his laps back from the GT3s. That was actually for position on the racetrack, so no blue flags would have been shown for that incident. Let's see what happened to Corbett here. I'm curious. The 998 GTP
He's already
driver.
got that damage. Already got that damage on the front left, as you can see.
Yeah, he sure does. And he's going to just hop, skip, and jump over the curbs.
Yeah. Is that
This
the
is
same
exactly
place Mark
where
did it?
Mark
Yeah.
went off.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the sausages are cursed at this corner tonight by the looks of it.
Oh,
So-
God. Yeah.
And is he going to get another second hit here?
Oh,
Well, I think
sorry.
he does. I think no, but I
He
think
definitely
does.
would have. Yeah. Man, the ring claiming lives tonight.
Oh, it does. And we're not even far in. Like, give it half an hour, and people, their mentalities, you know, their concentrations are going to start to waver. So
Yeah.
it'll only get worse.
Only 30 minutes into this race, 38 minutes. We still have 51 minutes left to go of racing. Plenty of time for more to take place. And it's going to take place. Now that the gaps have spread out and things have become a little bit quieter, as we see Mark Richards again getting a few laps back, or getting that lap back on the GT3 field. We'll ride along with him for a little bit. But, you know, as we see the drivers chopping it up, you know, getting into a rhythm, getting these now, Roberts 4 putting in a new personal best lap now that he's finally in clean air. Tires are up to temperature, the list goes on. This is where the endurance part of endurance racing kicks in. Can you survive just putting in laps by yourself and be measured by only the stopwatch? That's going to be your only comparison to the next driver. They're
It's
not
when
in
the
front of you. They're not
concentration really
around
comes
you.
in.
Whoa, there's a spun car. That'll be Matthew Clark. Whew.
Finch is back in the pit lane as well again.
Fitchner not seeing. I think Fitchner drove into the pits. Yeah.
Could have picked up damage again. I'm not sure. I can't imagine he's. I have no idea. But he's in the box now, so may have clipped the wall or something. And because you can sometimes get damage in these UTPs, which makes them really hard to drive. But you don't get the meatball, which is quite strange. You think you would, but no, these two are glued together. Nick Ewers and Julian Colbert.
Colbert taking an unfortunate pit stop, and perhaps Ewers will take an unfortunate pit stop as well, as he makes intimate relations with the barrier there.
Do you think he was listening to the stream and decided to crash as soon as he came on it? He may have, could have done.
You know, Jack, I don't want to say this. I don't want to say this to deter anybody from watching the stream, but sometimes I feel like drivers do watch the stream, because if I watch them for too long, they'll make a mistake. I know guys like Mark Richards specifically will watch it afterwards, you know, so I know a few will keep their wandering eyes or oh God, no, Nick. At least he kept it entertaining for us like he promised.
Yeah, Nick did warn us that he'd be spending a lot of time spinning, so well, maybe we should set up a little picture-in-picture of, we call it Nick Cam. It's just, that'll keep us on our toes.
All of his adventures.
We thank Nick for it. It's always a pleasure.
Oh, grand. And before I forget, I do want to say thank you to everybody, all of our Patreon subscribers. Let's go through them. Leslie Simpkins, Andrew Kenny, Mark Richards, Jack McCarthy, Simon Darch, and now our newest Tier 1 subscriber on the Patreon. It's none other than Richard Beaton. In the Tier 2 category, we have Mickey Phipps, Andrew Kesserton, Sam Marshall, and Uncle Lloyd Butler. Over to the Tier 3, it's none other than Jack Jacketson and Craig Starkey. Big shout out and thanks to everybody on the meat wall as well. That'll include none other than Andrew Kesserton. I believe that'll be Simon Hutchings, Zach Sweeney, into the pits in the meantime, and Paul Rocky Cook, our F4 champion on the meat wall. Big shout out and thanks to our title sponsor for tonight's event, SPR Services, for servicing mock prep diagnostic tires, breakdown, and recovery. Reach out to SPR Services. If you're interested in supporting the Sausage Dodgers, you like what you see, you want to get involved, check out our PayPal. All the money goes directly to supporting the stream, keeping the lights on here on the broadcast booth, getting the practice sessions open and ready for the drivers. Thank you so much to everybody that does support the stream. Like I said, if you want to get involved in the racing action, scan that QR code in the bottom right-hand side of your screen. That'll send you right over to our sim grid, where you can sign up for epic championships, such as our Porsche Cup, sponsored by Barham Engines. That's coming up very soon. Porsche Cup Season 3 is debuting right around the corner. There is also the GT3 season. Season 1 kicking off for the Europeans and the American leagues on Sundays. Again, scan that QR code in the bottom right-hand side of your screen to find out more. Now, Jack, I do want to ask maybe an uncomfortable question.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about the sausages?
Well, depends which type of sausage. But in terms of the racing team, it's very inclusive. So anyone of any level can come and join. You don't have to be mega fast. You can be new to iRacing. We're happy to help. We're happy to, guide you to have a better experience. It's a good inclusive team. We do a lot of all the special events, and we tend to have multiple teams. So you'll be as long as you show keenness, you'll be able to run with us for them as well. But it's just also a good group of guys. I've been with them for over a year and a half now, and yeah. I love it. It changed iRacing with me becoming part of a team like this, and of course I've committed and grown the ranks and become an admin and help organise things and part of running the team. But it just adds a whole new depth to it, especially with the special events. That's my favourite thing about running with SDR is because we have so much fun. Whether we win like we did in PML or N24 or even if we have bad races, we have such good times. Some of the conversations that happen at 2 or 3 a.m, they're brilliant. you have to try and hold yourself from laughing too much and waking up your neighbours and stuff. So it's a great time. That's my favourite thing about the sausages. And if you're talking about actual sausages, I do like a Cumberland. So yeah. Do you know what a Cumberland sausage is?
No idea. No idea.
It's a British sausage. Maybe I'll send you some one day. I think you'll quite enjoy them.
Yeah, ship them over. And a little curry sauce package as well while we're at it.
Oh, you like the curry sauce, do you?
Oh yeah, fire them up, baby. Pit lane's becoming alive right now with Kenny Mofats for Sims, Corbett Richards, Fitchner. Yeah, the whole fleet of GTPs coming in at the 45-minute mark of this race. We're 45 minutes in, 45 minutes away from the finish, so obviously splitting this one down the middle. Looks like drivers also taking tires only makes sense for a track like this as we watch Lloyd Butler try to get one back on, that'll be Josiah Anise out in front of him.
At night, you could probably get away with not taking tires because the temperatures are a lot cooler. But as you can see, it's the middle of the day here, or early morning, I'm not sure what time it is, but I'm sure the track's got a bit of heat in it, so those tyres won't last as long. Whilst we're doing the, what's it called? Oh, Benny's off there. Benedetto. Or Benedetto, should I say.
Well, let's get a replay of what happened here to the 16 who maybe got a little spooked.
Yeah, it's so easy to go too quick into there.
Yeah.
Boom, you're going to miss the second part. But yeah, a bunch of GT3s pitted as well whilst we're doing the break. So it's just getting to that time of the race. You've got a bunch of people, some people were doing slightly different strategies, pitting earlier or pitting later. So obviously Mark and Oscar have moved above Fitchner now. He's in the pits with the meatball. I don't know if we'll see him back out on track. Yeah.
Hey, incident here for Kitty. The lone Audi on the racetrack. That's going to be the Schumacher S's. And that one's easy to denote by the big sign coming up the hill. And it looks like he's already into a dramatic slide coming up the hill, clips the curb, does a 50-50 over it. And then that's really what unsettles the car. Yeah, and that'll send him around and the big lockup. And
do you think he's just come out of pit lane by any chance? Maybe he could be on cold tires.
Could be, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Especially coming through the Schumacher S's. That's just so easy to happen on cold tires. But he will avoid the barriers, thank goodness.
I think he has.
Yeah,
he pitted on lap 5, and I assume they're on lap 5. The GT3s. So
yep, exactly. Good call there, boss. Good call there. This is the joy of me giving you. Oh no, Benedetto Deviso!
Oh, no, Benedetto. That's unfortunate.
Mamma mia!
He's swearing in Italian right now with an English accent.
Oh,
and that rear's done. Yeah, that rear's done. He's lost the toe.
That's gonna be. That's gonna be it for our friend Benedetto there. Oh man, just absolutely gutting. Oh man.
Just shows just exactly what we were talking about earlier. He's on his own and just concentrating by himself, and boom, he's in the wall.
Look at the flurry of the track map right now. I think that's the interesting thing to kind of denote right now, is we're definitely starting to see the blending of GTPs with the GT3s now.
For sure.
So this brings out a new life and characteristic to the grid, to drivers that were lapping by themselves to now have much slower or much faster traffic around them. As we said in the intro, that becomes a whole new breed of difficulty.
I think Andrew Kenny, the leader, will probably catch up with. You see, there's a big batch on the track map of the GT3s there.
Right.
From 7th to 10th. We'll catch up with those guys in maybe a lap and a half, I assume. So that'll be. Because that's the biggest cluster, isn't it, there? of those four guys, and then they all space out a bit. So, be a challenge. And Andrew, as you can see, he's locked in, he's dialed in, he's nailing his lines. So, it'll be something to distract him and a challenge for him to get past them. But I don't doubt Andrew. He's a very talented guy.
100%. I'm very well assured that he's equipped to handle the challenge, especially after competing, last weekend out there with Corbett and Richard. So,
that would have been a bigger grid too.
Oh yeah.
60 cars, wasn't it? So.
And handling the traffic is one of the more difficult things to practice, I would say.
Oh, for sure. I love handling traffic in like IMSA style racing. It's like a small track, like at Road Atlanta, for example, because it's just chaos. Like every single corner, there's someone there, especially when you're deep into the race.
Sure.
Like it's But it's different here because you can have periods of the race where you do have quite a bit of track, even in the long races. So.
Yeah. 100%. There's going to be periods of this stint where it will just genuinely be quiet for most of the field. Looking at Andrew Kenny right now on the track map, he's been fairly clear cut for a while now. Far and few between GT3s have come through the field up to him so far, but Mark Richards, on the other hand, not so much the case. He had to start in the middle of the GT3 field for whatever reason. And then on top of that, he had to go to the pits, and now he's doing it all over again. And as the GT3 sees the Mark Richards Sausage Dodger car coming through Flugplatz,
You can see by the body language of Mark's car that he's quick. Like he points it in, it flies in. It carries so much speed into the corner. Look, it's I know it's pretty flat through there, but he's very fast in these things. Mark, he's very comfortable. He knows what he's doing. He's got a lot of seat time in this GTP Porsche. So,
battle brewing here. This was a spicy one earlier on between the 89 and the 911. This is going to involve Katzenberger and Marino Kaloric. And again, Robin, hopefully I'm pronouncing your name right. Katzenberger.
Better than I'd do. Put it that way.
And let's check out the catch now. Check out the driver ahead. The double pit stop there for Katzelberger is what's throwing off the catch right now. The analytics there not being able to put up with the math as he's pit twice in a row. Very difficult run, but had the pace to be up in P2. Number 89 falls back to P6. Mark Richards still chopping it up through the GT3 field as Benedetto finally leaves pit lane and will resume his race here shortly. Felix Kotiak definitely not under threat. has a 30-second gap right now to Christian Kempringer.
Got
And
through
there's
there nicely.
Oh, there's Andrew Kesterton, yes, getting through. Or, excuse me, letting by Kempringer.
He's got an interesting split livery there, doesn't he? I'm trying to figure out what it is, but it's certainly lively.
We were talking about it while you were away. It's actually a 50-50 livery. I can find a good camera. There's just no good cameras. It's a fire and water theme. You'll find just a good camera of it. There we go. Yeah. So it's fire on the right, and then it's got water on the left side. So it's just a nice contrasting theme, and I believe it's the big wave reference on the left-hand side, and then some fire themes there on the right.
Just a flag. We've got Mark Richards with another meatball, unfortunately.
Oh, good Lord.
Let's hope it's not the same corner.
Let's see what happens to
the
Mark
fast
Richards
left-hand,
here.
but-
Yeah.
Touch of grass. Here's the curb. Yeah, the curb. It's the curb, isn't it? Oh, it's not a good night for Mark.
No, definitely not. Oh, man. Worse to worse.
It's a shame. Well, that's not the last thing I wanted to see in the booth, but hey, it's a sad night for Mark. But he'll come back from this. But yeah, unfortunately, I have to shoot out the booth now. Just want to say it's been an absolute pleasure. It's been good. Sorry I couldn't stay for the whole race. Really enjoyed it. So I hope we get to do it again sometime. It's been good fun. And I hope I've filled a good gap and made this long race at the Nordschleife enjoyable.
Fantastic company. Hope to see you again. Enjoy your evening, brother.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much, guys, in the chat and everything. And yeah, don't forget to, if you like the look at this, join SDR. Give a Kennedy QR code, which comes up throughout the broadcast, and yeah, get involved. Anyway, pleasure, guys. Have a good one. See you later.
Yeah. That was my co-commentator Jack McCarthy having to step away, unfortunately, due to time restrictions here. 31 minutes left on the clock. He'll be left with me solo in the booth. I'm Sagabachi, aka The Real High, and Christian Kempringer comes down pit lane. This will be his first on the evening. So Felix Kotiak as well takes the same treatment of his vehicle and tries to extend as much as possible. Felix is fueled up, fired up, and ready to go, tackling turn one here and now. Here's the time to check your radar and see what the happening is as you come down to the Mercedes Arena. Quick update, looks like Fitchner is unfortunately out of contention from this event. Sadly, it doesn't look good for the German on his home track. Oh, Zach Sweeney. What's going on here? As Zach Sweeney battles with Bjorn King, the Drive Lounge Racing team. Number 25 dukes it out with Bjorn. This is the battle for third in class. This was a battle that brewed from pit stops. Bjorn just taking his. Zach obviously out for a little bit longer on fresher rubber than what Bjorn is on. Checking in with another fan favorite, James Piper in the 999, running a respectable P6 currently. Unfortunately, down 2 positions in the category from where he started this event, but so far so good for Piper as he's in the championship fight for a top 5. Marino Kloraric heads out of pit lane here, and this time doesn't have any company around him. So hopefully the clean air will help him catch back up to a battle with Josiah Anise right up the road. Oh no, cold tires through the Mercedes arena for the 911. Holds the brakes, avoids the barrier. He'll be able to get it lit up and pointed in the right direction. But this time, it might be Butler able to catch up. Now he's 22 seconds back, too far back to make anything happen. Nothing gained, nothing lost from the Croatian there. Coming through the carousel, riding on board with Oscar Corbett as we chase down Benedetto De Viso. He looks to the outside line, and that was hairy, scary moment coming into the Donny row. Mark Richards still in the pits. He'll fall prey to the damage here. Just absolutely breathless. Breathtaking how much the drivers are pushing going into some of these high-speed moments. It's just absolutely unbelievable right now. riding on board with Oscar Corbett as he spits fire. Just absolute commitment right now from him through the fast left-hander. Into Armberg. Now through the Ardner Forest. Jordan King jumped to the pits. I wonder what happened to John as he left pit lane. I'm not seeing. Oh, here we go. Oh, Jordan in his chase coming out of pit lane. The same lap on those cold tires of 54 pirouettes into the barriers, out of third place, unfortunately for him. Benedetto trying to recover, but he shouldn't be pushing as hard as he is right now in his chase for a driver like Matthew Clark. Number 50 has made a mistake of his own, so the two find each other here and now on the racetrack, glued to each other. Best laps are nearly identical, 8:35 to 8:37. Last lap around for Benedetto was an 8:45 though, and I think Benedetto has had another incident. Let's see what happens to the number 16. He's coming up the crest. Everything looks okay until he gets on the loud pedal. And he'll smack over the curb and just get a little too exuberant on that attempt. Doesn't look like he has significant damage, so might be able to hold on to this position P11 right now. Felix Kotiak, excuse me. Feel like we definitely have to talk about him. I mean, just has been flawless from the word go. Best lap being an 8:18.3. Just unbelievable pace from our race leader. Kamperger behind. Best lap being that can't be right. A 9:21. My timing and scoring is all wrong. Excuse me, as we don't have a best time for Campringer. Perhaps they haven't set a valid lap yet. Could be a possibility. But Zach Sweeney, the Drive Lounge racing pilot, happily in P3. As a good reminder to don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell to get notifications for when we go live next here at the Sausage Dodgers Racing Channel. Racing every Tuesday and Thursday currently, with plans to expand on the Sundays as well for our brothers in America. Flashy of the headlights from the 000 and around the 25. And it looks like Mark Richards unfortunately parks it as well. After a couple of ups and downs, that'll be the end of his run tonight. Jordan King spending a lot of time in the pits now. I'm curious to see what exactly has been going on for him. Jason Keedy coming out of the pits now. Matthew Clark not too far behind. Here comes another battle brewing. Ewers and Benedetto. Divizio chases down Ewers, and the catch looks good, but he wants to be cautious, not optimistic about his maneuvers. Bit wide there for Ewers. Might give Benedetto a run that he needs. Now this is the tricky part. Where do you make your move now if you can't do it before you get to the green hell? If you're faster in the GT section, or if you're faster in the mountain section, that's one thing. Benedetto running 9:37 compared to yours 9:04, being his best lap apparently. But timing and scoring could be wrong. I'm sure yours has put in better lap than that. A chase is on between the GT3 drivers here and now with 13 minutes and 30 seconds remaining on the clock. Still anybody's ball game for the top 10 at least. Mistakes do breed mistakes for the field at times. And here at the ring, it's a challenge unlike any other. Half a second gap here between Benedetto and Ewers ahead. Ewers losing a ton of time per lap, but Benedetto also losing heaps of time sitting behind Ewers now. Tries to go the long way around the outside, but can't make it work here. Closest battle on track is this one here now between Benedetto De Vizio and Ewers. Gap opens up a bit but closes right back down as Ewers sends it into the Armco barriers. Here comes the 16, now trying to mount his attack. This is an awfully sketchy place to try to make a move. I think he's just playing with his food at this point. Tiny minor mistakes from Ewers up ahead keep checking up Benedetto from making any attack really work out at the end of the day. I wonder if we'll see another flurry of pit stops from the field. Andrew Kenny has crashed. Campringer has crashed. Hold the phone. This is Campringer has crashed, the Rising Panda Racing team. Uh-oh, this looks like a big hit. Oh, wall to wall. That's going to be a lap loss for Campringer, as he's going to have to send it back to the pits. And here's Kenny's crash as he's already off the track. And just a tank slapper to boot. Does he avoid all of the barriers? He does, but Felix Kotiak has to go off track to avoid him. But Kenny, wow, what a save. I think fatigue is definitely starting to settle in. Ewers and Benedetto. Benedetto still in his battle with Nick Ewers. Checking the timing now. Here comes Oscar Corbett through the field. Next driver up the track will be Mr. Kesserton. All that spinning that Kenny just did, and he still maintains a tremendous lead over Danny Moffat. Benedetto all over. Nick Ewers here. Beto going so much slower now than I would have expected him to. He matched Ewer's lap time last time by 9:01. Oscar Corbett making a very unexpected pit stop here. And just as I say that, are we already on to the last lap? As I believe we would be. Where's Barney, the flag man? Unfortunately, I don't have a Barney cam this time by. But Andrew Kenny, very much leading us from green to checkered flag here tonight, has been stupendous. 1 minute 55 left on the clock, and we have halfway left of this lap to go. If my math is mathing me, that means we will not have an additional lap. And big contender tonight, I would say, is Daniel Moffat, who did a good job of just getting his nose involved. Although he didn't qualify perfectly, knew that he potentially had the pace to catch up to Moffat. Robert Snore bringing home third position tonight. Paul Sims and then Oscar Corbett in that order. For the GT3s, we have 17-18 still driving on the racetrack. But so far, it's been Felix Kotiak to really drive this one home. The 217 Ford Mustang has led us from green to checkered flag tonight. Zach Sweeney and James Piper coming 2 and 3 in that order. Sure is gonna bring joy to James Piper's ears, as he was just talking to us earlier about potentially wanting to get a top 3 in the championship, and we said mathematically it was possible, probable, non-likely, but he's making us all look the fool tonight as the math starts working out to be in his favor. With a couple of the heavy hitters not showing up tonight in the GT3 category, the 17 drivers that did show up tonight definitely showed out. It was a long way to the top. Andrew Kenny, definitely here to rock and roll. The 000 claims victory at one of the toughest tracks on the calendar, the Nürburgring. Danny Moffat gonna bring it home in P2. Coming out of the penultimate corner, out of the second carousel, down the Donninger Hoe. Michael Phipps saying, what an unbelievable save from Andrew Kenny. He deliberately controlled the brakes on and off to avoid hitting the barrier. Highlight of the race for me. Amazing. That was truly an amazing one. Moffat brings it home in P2. Next up will be Roberts 4 to round it out. Felix Kotiak enjoying his donuts. Zach Sweeney is going to bring it home in P2 for the category. We still have quite a bit of a ways to go till the session is closed out, folks. We'll just slowly bring them all home. Zach Sweeney comes home in second. And again, James Piper gonna be licking his lips, chomping at the bit, enjoying the champagne as much as possible with a heroic P3 tonight. Roberts 4, Paul Sims, then Oscar Corbett are going to bring it home in the GTP category. Here comes Piper across the line to bring it home in the GT3s. Holy Toledo, James Piper is going to be over the moon with this result tonight. Stanislav Kosarev, the U.S. representative, is going to bring it home in fourth place. The hard and lonely United States driver. The 71 fought hard with many on the grid tonight, but tonight, P4 was all she wrote. Couple of drivers trickling in behind. Benedetto De Vezzo, Nick Ewers. Next up will be Kesterton as well behind Kosarev. Josiah Anise brings it home in P5. Following that, we'll have Marino Klovarik in the 911. Christian Kampringer, the driver who really challenged themselves tonight, had a shot at P2 at one point in time, but a couple of mistakes led them awry. And what about Lloyd Butler's run on the evening? Having a commanding run to P8 for the category. Not too shabby for the man in the 369 purple machine that kept it clean. Jason Ketty in P9. Matthew Clark rounds it out in P10. Don't go anywhere, folks. We have the results coming up in just a second, and then we'll talk to the entire field. Well, we'll talk to Andrew Kenny, Felix Kojak, and Zach Sweeney here in just a moment. Here we go for the results for the SPR Services Endurance Tour. Andrew Kenny took the win. Daniel Moffat, Roberts for the 1-2-3 punch combo. Mark Richards, unfortunately, well, not finishing up the session, unfortunately. Roberts for Paul Sims, Oscar Corbett, Mark Richards, and then Lewis Fitchner are going to round it out. Over to the GT3s, it was Felix Koziak taking the win. Zach Sweeney, James Piper there with the hard charger being Zach Sweeney. Fastest lap going to Felix Koziak. Stanislav Kosarev, Josiah Anise, Marino Clark, Christian Kempringer, Lloyd Butler, Jason Ketty, Matthew Clark, Benedetto De Vizio, Nick Ewers, Andrew Keston, Jorn King, Robert Katzelberger, Julian Colbert, Simon Music, and Lewis Butler round out the results. First and foremost, let's talk to our race winner in the GTP category. It'll be none other than Andrew Kenny. Andrew Kenny, how are you feeling after a very, very long race at the Nürburgring?
Good talk. How are you, my friend?
I'm living the dream, but you must be a little exhausted. You don't sound too tired.
Oh, I've been sweating my nuts off. But did you see me lose it in going up the hill, second to last lap?
Yes, we did.
Yeah, and I was so lucky not to put it into the wall and apologise to Felix for blocking him. I was going backwards at the time, but so lucky to finish in P1, to be honest.
No, man, we saw the save. It was unbelievable. Even Michael Phipps in the chat was saying how unbelievable that was. But I mean, to be able to save the car like that, doing what you were able to do, you had to have car control first. How does one get control of their car to be able to just do something like that?
I think a lot of it comes down to reaction. Obviously, when you've been through in that situation before, you kind of get like a bit of a hand to it of what you should do when you lose your grip. But what an incredible race. There's some things I've got to say. Like, unfortunately, I didn't get to have a battle with Mark. He's super quick. He's so consistent. And he's really fast at this track. But unfortunately, we didn't get a battle today because in qualifying, he had a technical issue.
So that's what took him out.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Also, some of the GTP field was absent today, but you just got to do what you can in the situation.
It was a great field nonetheless. Andrew Kenny, anybody you'd like to shout out or anybody you'd like to thank on the victory tonight?
Big shout out to all the Dodgers and the PLM winners. Like I say, big shout out to Mark Richards. He's super fast at this track, and just unfortunately, we didn't get to battle today.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Andrew Kenny. Really appreciate you. Have a great night.
Thank you,
As
Sergeant.
always, stay
Thank you,
safe.
my
brother.
friend.
Next up, let's talk to none other than Daniel Mofat. Lucky Charms,
Hello.
whose luck ended up actually coming to favor tonight. Daniel, how are you feeling on the P2?
Oh, brilliant. I'm well chuffed, mate. I'm so glad I got to do that combo, because that's always been... I've only just started driving the hypercars, and I've always thought hypercars on Lords would be the best combo ever. And when I saw it was in the league, I got so excited, and it was epic. Andrew was in his own world, he was gone. I was hoping to get a little slipstream at the start, but no, he was off. And I thoroughly enjoyed that. Well done, everyone. Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, it was a great race, Daniel, and great performance by you. Even throughout this championship, it's been looking good for you. And I mean, the luck of the Irish is definitely there on your car. You know, looking forward to the next season when we run GT3s. Is that something you're going to come back to?
Oh yeah, definitely. The more I race with these guys, I'm watching them sneakily in the practice sessions, and I'm gaining a little bit of time here and there from watching them. So Andrew, I've saved the replay. I'll be watching you. So yeah, can't wait for the GT3. I don't know what car. No idea yet.
On the P2, anybody you'd like to shout out or anybody you'd like to thank, Daniel?
I thank everybody, and my mate Paul Sims. He literally hadn't driven a hypercar till yesterday, and I said, "Why don't you jump in with us?" And he said, "Yeah, go on then." And so I sent him the setup over, and yeah, he held it together for the race. For doing Nord's first race in a hypercar, that was pretty tense for him. But to finish without any damage or anything, that's chuffed for bits for him.
Talk about throwing him into the wolves' den. Holy smokes. I hate to see what you do to your enemies, Daniel, if that's what you do to your friends. Man.
Yeah, I'm a bit of an enabler. I do tend to get people into trouble.
Right on, brother. Thank you very much for joining us. Have a great night. And as always,
Thank
stay
you
safe,
so
Daniel.
much. And thank you for the GT3s. They've been perfect throughout the whole championship.
Awesome, brother. Thank you so much, man. Take care.
Thanks a lot. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. Next up, it will be none other than Felix Kotiak, a driver that I haven't had the pleasure of talking to in quite some time, and it's a pleasure to talk to you yet again. Felix, how are you doing tonight, and how are you celebrating the win here at the Nürburgring?
Hey, yeah, it's been quite a long time. Back in the ACC days, I think we've met, so yeah, definitely been a year or more since we last talked. Yeah, how I'll celebrate? Probably with a quick shower and on to bed, because work tomorrow is not gonna wait for me. But yeah, no, definitely a good one.
How was the challenge here at the ring as well? I mean, you were pretty much running by yourself for the majority of the race. Did you have any challenges other than the big incident with Andrew Kenny having to avoid him?
I was about to say that one was a bit tricky in the moment, because for me it looked like he was going a bit left, right, and I was like, okay, which direction is he gonna choose? And I was like, okay, I'll just take the grass, might be the safe option. No, but otherwise it was quite controlled in the front, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Felix, now on the victory, you know, and as a newcomer to the championship, you know, looking forward to the remainder. We have one more race. How are you feeling this league, and are you looking forward to the next one?
I'll actually miss the next one.
Oh no, at Sebring.
Because I don't have time. Yeah, unfortunately I do. I've signed up for the next round for now, and see if I can manage to do that on the first days. And yeah, go from there.
Well, hopefully have you back, Felix. It was great to see you again. Anybody you'd like to shout out or anybody you'd like to thank on the victory?
Well, I'll shout out my two friends, Chris and Björn, that drove with us today. Sadly, they both found a bit of a wall, but yeah, maybe next time.
Hopefully next time, indeed. Again, great to see you, Felix. As always, make sure you stay safe out there, brother.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Next up, we have the Drive Lounge racing pilot, Zach Sweeney, number 25, who definitely had his trials and tribulations tonight. And Zach is here to tell us all about it. Zach, talk to us about your amazing race.
Amazing's a bit of a stretch, to be honest, but thank you. Yeah, completely fluffed up quali. Just coming into it with no prep. The sun's been really good in the UK for once this week, so just been trying to make the most of that with family and stuff. So I've spent a lot of my time outside, which is unusual for a sim racer. So came into this with maybe 2 laps of running. I didn't do the N24 special event either, so had no prep to go off. Thankfully, we had a setup in the Drive Lounge base, but other than that, it was just learning every lap. So obviously quali didn't go to plan, but yeah, lap 1 I knew that things would come to me as long as I kept it clean. Thankfully I was able to work with Louis to go through. He unfortunately then made the mistake, which yeah is a bit of a shame, but becoming a bit of a theme for Louis unfortunately this season. From then on it was just a case of keeping my head clean and cracking on really. From then on the pace was really consistent. What I did have I was able to keep, but there was absolutely no catching the leader. He was just unbelievable this evening, but yeah, happy to have walked away with a P2 nonetheless.
Zach, tremendous drive tonight and getting P2. Is there anybody you'd like to shout out or anybody you'd like to thank on the podium?
Yeah, obviously Drive Lounge Racing as per usual. Again, the support from these guys is incredible, and again shout out to Josiah, our junior driver. His best result so far this season, a P5 around the toughest circuit on the calendar. He smashed it today. He had a couple of mistakes, but we all did. I smashed the barrier at some point around the lap. That gave me 2 laps running with about 25 degrees left hand down that I then had to sort in the pit lane, just scraping through to get to the fuel. But Josiah did an amazing job, and super proud of him. A circuit that he struggled at in the special event, but he kept his head, kept his cool, and kept pressing on. So yeah, really proud of his development this season. Big thank you to SDR as well, and yeah, looking forward to wrapping up the championship hopefully in Sebring.
Right on, Zach. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for supporting the Sausage Dodgers. And as always, make sure you stay safe out there.
Cheers, mate. See you soon. See you next week. Bye-bye.
See ya. Want to give another big shout out and thanks to our title sponsor tonight, SPR Services, for servicing mock prep, diagnostic, tires, breakdown, and recovery. Reach out to SPR Services, folks. If you like what you see and you want to get involved, scan that QR code and get in your sim rig. Folks, it's been a pleasure to take you from green to checkered flag. As always, as your host, I'm Sagar Bakshi, bringing you the live productions from green to checkered flag. But as all good things have to come to an end, so shall this. It's been a great show. As we head into the finale at Sebring, we begin a new chapter. The GT3 Championship Season 1 will begin just around the corner. Stay tuned for that. And we have the Porsche Cup Season 3, sponsored by Barm Classic Engines, coming up very soon as well. Thank you very much for joining, folks. Thank you very much for staying tuned. It's been a pleasure to take you from green to checkered flag. Have a great night. As always, make sure you stay safe out there. Goodbye for now.